Every Tuesday.
A podcast. We didn't even know what was happening. We were 15 episodes into this.
It seems to be helping and impacting a lot of people. We'll see you every Tuesday on the Metaverse podcast. Peace.
Easy. I don't know why I chuck deuces. Like I don't chuck deuces. What was that?
Oh,
here we are.
Here we are, my brother.
It is all happening.
It is happening. Yo, first of all, if you're watching, this is live. So type in your comments. Let us know where you're watching for. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who's in his house.
Yeah.
And all throughout this time, just let us know what you're thinking, because this is an exciting day for us.
That it is. Man, like this phase of the journey started about 5 weeks ago when we recorded what ended up being our season finale for the first one, and we're like, you know what? Maybe we ought to go into the metaverse and do this. And I remember you saying, "What took you so long?"
Dude, I love it, because if you've been watching us for a while, you know that we've been in the metaverse for at least one episode or half of an episode, and so now we're going again, and but this entire season, what I've learned from these podcasts, man, we can't say what we're going to be doing 3 weeks from now.
Right. It is a work in process.
Absolutely,
for sure. We can say what we're going to be doing this Friday, though. We're going to be recording.
What are we going to be doing this Friday, brother?
Recording live in the metaverse for the next episode. Yeah. Oh man, what a cool dynamic here to be able to go in to the metaverse on Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern and record in Jason Earls Productions in front of the live studio audience, and then take that footage and then blend it with the dynamics of this, with you and I face to face kind of talking, and incorporate in the comments of the people watching. So yeah, if you're watching, this is all happening in real time. If you see our real live faces and not our avatars, that's all real time.
Right.
So type in your comments and we can say hello, give you a shout out, answer any questions.
And y'all, I'm on comment duty, so I got the responsibility of producing the comments to the screen. So I hope my computer's working right now. So if a comment doesn't go up, it's all my fault. Send all your complaints to Aaron at unemployedalcoholic.com.
Yeah. Man, good stuff.
Should we just go ahead and get started with the intro? And
man, I'm too excited. Like, let's get into it. Like, let's get into it. But then, like, about maybe 10 minutes into that, I think we'll have a nice break to where we can pop back like this. We can address some questions as they come up. We can chat with people and then jump back. So let's King Friday on Mr. Rogers. Let's go to the let's go to the metaverse.
Here we go, y'all.
Welcome to Metaverse, the podcast where Jason Earls and Aaron Sorrels navigate the explosive growth in the metaverse. Buckle up, because we are in for a heck of a ride.
What's up?
Yeah.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Let's go. What's up, bro?
Jason Earls.
Man.
Oh man.
We got a podcast in the metaverse, bro.
Yeah. Who knew that this is what it was all building up to through the entire first season? And now we are here kicking off season 2 with all of you guys, a live studio audience.
Let's go. Who would have
Oh.
thunk it, man? Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
First, I'm pausing. I'm sorry. I know we said we were gonna pause, but dude, shout out to all the audience that show up at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on a Friday morning to be in the studio audience, man.
Dude, and that's Eastern Standard Time. So Pacific Time, that was what? 7 a.m. 8 a.m. 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's early to be live studio audience for a podcast recording. Man, that's great.
Dude, it's a kid. It's a kid who's actually a designer now. I don't know. He's like what 14 years old. But the day before when we were doing the walkthrough, he was like, man, that's early for me, but I'm gonna get up. This kid got up during the summertime at 8 o'clock.
I'm
That's
of
so
course
good.
reminded as we think back to the opening of our first episode, season 1, episode 1, when we said we're flying this plane down a runway, trying to take off, and we don't even know what the runway looks like or what our journey's going to look like. And here we are.
Dude, I'll even go back before that. Dude, can we record this conversation just in case something comes of it?
That's right. That's right.
That's literally what happened, y'all. Oh my goodness. And now look at this, dude.
You know what?
Wow.
Maybe that's a good story to start this off with. So Jason came in to perform early on in here, and afterwards he reached out and he's like, "Hey man, I think it'd be good if you and I just connected up and kind of chatted things through, you know." And so we did. We talked, and that conversation was just packed full of wisdom. It was packed full of encouragement. And I think I said at the end of that, I was like, man, we should have recorded this because we need to share this with other people.
Absolutely. And I would say, man, all of it really was based off of us just being our genuine selves, authentically who we are.
Man,
and as I always say, man,
that's funny.
Dude, like who you really are, like it's just amplified in the metaverse, dude. And so you being the great dude that you are, the dude who's consistently like what y'all see about the unemployed alcoholic, how he's always welcoming. That's who you are, how you always encouraging, and it's based off of that. That I saw that, and then I was like, dude, he resonates with everything that I'm thinking about in the metaverse, and here we are.
Yeah. Which that also kind of brings us to another theme of this podcast that's come up over and over. And that is in the beginning phases of something, some things should be easy. And man, it's been easy for you and I to connect, get on the same page, and just run with something, you know. Thank you,
Absolutely.
dude, for making it easy. Thank you for just the way that this is all coming together, dude. This is incredible.
Dude, remember when I can't remember what we were planning, and it started getting difficult, and we're like, you know what? Let's scratch it then. That's tough. We're not gonna do it. Like that's
right.
Not how it should be.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. I remember that. It was the social media live streaming stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like it just started bogging down, and it was like, man, I don't feel confident in doing this. And you stepped in and you're like, I got this part, and you made it happen. So, I mean, I think that's a good thing for all of us to think about and use as a litmus test on new projects or even on new things that have to be done within projects. You know, if it isn't easy, if the initial part isn't easy, maybe there's other things that we need to focus our attention on, or maybe we need to tag somebody else in to help with that piece of it.
Right. And if you're in partnership, the important thing is when you sense that your partner is uncomfortable with something, bring it up. Like I saw, you know, Aaron was like, yeah, and then I was like, yo, it's tough. I saw him breathe hard. And I was like, yo, that's a burden. Let's talk about that. And so the idea is like welcoming those conversations of difficulty.
Yeah. Man, so I know you've had a lot of emotion, a lot of excitement leading up to this moment right here. Tell me about your last couple days, man.
Man, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. First there was, I'm a dreamer, so I was super excited. Uh, but then, man, just this almost, I would say, this poisonous humility is not really
Ooh,
humility.
hold on. Say that word again.
Poisonous humility. In other words, it's like a lack of worthiness. Like, I see the people that you're gonna meet today they're unicorns when it comes to the metaverse and creation.
Yeah.
And so you got, man, all these unicorns, and then you got me, the jackass. Like, yo, if you ever seen like 5 unicorns in a jackass, like, one of these things is not like the other. And so, man, like, so you look at what TheJohnMclay did, what Solars, what MayheM, what AceTheBass, and you and your excellence. And I'm sitting there like, I can encourage people, in build mode, I would mess stuff up. But like, thank God for an undo button.
Yeah.
And so that piece made me really wrestle with just the insecurities. But then the reality, there's this thing called grace, man. And how ultimately, dude, when you accept grace is when you get something that you don't deserve. And I'm totally undeserving of, man, just the friendships, even the wife that I have, the 6 kids that I have. And that spills over to the metaverse, the friends that I've developed, even, the live audience that I have. Like, I'm so undeserving of this stuff, but man, I've learned how to embrace the grace, me getting stuff that I don't deserve. So, and let me just say, I'm super. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, let me just speak to that for a minute, because what we're doing right here is a marathon. What we're doing right here is something that's going to go well into the future. And the building aspects, it's okay for us. This is something I've had to learn in the soapstone because of the talented people that I'm able to collaborate with in there. The building process, it's okay for us to step back and empower and appreciate them for doing their thing. And it doesn't take anything away from us, because the value that we're adding, the value that you're adding specifically in here, it's the marathon, it's the time on stage, it's the leadership, it is the encouragement. And dude, your value is incredible. Do you mess things up in build mode? Yeah. You do. But we got a team that can cover our backs and help out, that's important. That's important for us to be able to step back without stepping down our view of our own value. Because, dude,
when I first started doing stand-up comedy, I met a guy who travels the world. And I said, listen, sir, he actually stayed at my parents' house. And I was like, listen, sir, you travel all around the world and you're staying at my parents' house in my old room while I sleep on the sofa, because I'm just a college student. And I was like, listen, man, let me know. Tell me, give me some wisdom on doing stand-up comedy. He was like, I've never done stand-up comedy. Don't talk to anybody who does it. And I was like, yeah, but you travel the world. You know people. Give me something.
Yeah.
And he stopped and he said, you know what? If I could tell you anything, TEAM, Jason, TEAM. Together, everyone achieves more. And that stuck with me.
Yeah.
30 years later, man, the more you have a team and you empower the team, the more everybody achieves.
Wow. That's some good wisdom right there. And you know what? I can't think of a better way to segue into introducing some of the team that helped us out. Let's take a walk to our chairs and bring up some guests. What do you think?
These chairs. Yo, that's segment 1, y'all.
It worked, Jason. We're here, we're there. It's all happening. Yeah, Zach the artist, wouldn't miss
Zach,
it.
my man, dude. Zach the genius.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
up, bro?
Loving it. Team, TEAM. Together, everyone achieves more. Jason, that right there is a nugget of wisdom that you picked up from an early on mentor. Thank you for sharing it with us then, and thanks for sharing it now.
Dude, that's the one piece of early advice that I got. Didn't even know what comedy, what comedy was going to take me. The metaverse, shoot, Facebook, social media really wasn't even a thing then. But to look where it is now, and so that's the one piece I'm always asking myself: where's my team? How am I employing and encouraging others? How am I being a team member? So, and dude, that's
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's to be honest, like we've had some struggles with the team in the soapstone lately. It's we've had incredibly rapid growth, and I was actually thinking back on it, the people that we've lost, the people that have moved on to do other things, and it's because conflict comes up and then it doesn't get resolved, and then it just fractures more, and it's rough. Like, and I mean, I'm confident that with continued growth, we can. It's been, Cal, it's been sad to see people go. It's been sad to see relationships fracture, but I'm optimistic.
Yeah,
I feel like we've got people that have hung around through tough times. We've got people who have looked forward to uncertain times, and we're looking at this and going to hit it together and overcome it together. So, man, but how good is that to be talking about team stuff? Go, Jason.
It's good.
Breathe.
Before we go back into the metaverse, I just want to say again, one running theme that I always say is, man, who you are in real life is amplified in the metaverse. And one problem that we see, in particular in America, is oftentimes, man, this cancer in relationships called lack of refusing to just deal with difficulty. And sometimes, don't just embrace the grace, but embrace opportunity to make peace with people. So, and don't run from it. And so, a lot of times, people run from it, and that's how relationships get fractured. But when in relationships, there's always going to be difficulty, and you got to be able to make some lemonade out of the lemons. Or like when people are having cloudy days, we got to find ways to try to be the sunshine. So, and shout out to your team, because your team has not, this whole team, I can say my team now.
The
build team has really been great. That's why I'm excited to introduce them.
So let's do that. Let's jump back into the metaverse and meet some builders.
Let's go. Here we go. Took too long to get into our seats. My bad. So what we say, man, the first two people we're bringing out, really, I consider metaverse royalty. Like these two right here are absolutely amazing, and as I would say, freaking geniuses. That's what I would say. What would you say about these two?
Oh man, I can't say enough about them. The role that they have played in the soapstone is incredible, but far more incredible than that is the genuine friendships that we've developed over time. These are folks that I just genuinely like to spend time with. And they just happen to be wildly talented builders, wildly talented scripters and coders. And then also, as they build out this new business that they've started, I've seen some incredible business insights from them and decisions that I've seen them make. It's amazing, and they're headed for great things. So without further ado, let's bring out Solaris 30 and TheJohnMcclay. Yeah. John, so good to see you, man. All right.
Hear ye, the royal court is here.
Wait, I might have misintroduced Solaris. Maybe you should introduce her.
So I've given Solaris, y'all, the distinguished honor, like speaking for who she is the queen of the metaverse. Da, 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 da.
And then there's John.
John is he's the wizard.
I dubbed John my king of the metaverse as my best friend.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah,
man. So you two, the theme of this podcast is two comedians navigating explosive growth in the metaverse. And John, maybe I can start with you. Can you give me just a short recap of your journey through the metaverse and what the growth process has been like for you?
Oh yeah, sure, I'd love to. And thank you again for inviting us on to the show.
Oh,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it started like I came into Horizon about a year and a half ago, a little more than a year and a half ago. Not knowing anything. I've never, I have an art background, but I've never done anything in virtual reality, never did any 3D modeling, certainly never did any coding. I had zero coding knowledge.
Wow.
And the first time I came into Horizon, I was kind of underwhelmed. It was back in the day. If you've been, there's like maybe 20 people here. So it's kind of like a ghost town. And so I found the build tools, and that's what kept me. Like I was really interested in that. So I kind of became a build hermit for a couple of months, and just spent the time. I think I systematically went through all the tools, saw what they did. This was a time before Alex's video, so there was like almost no tutorials. I think he had maybe 3 up at that time, yeah, for like the first couple of months, I really didn't do any socializing, which in retrospect was a mistake because like a lot of the enjoyment of Horizon is social, and I might even say I spent more time or at least as much time socializing, hanging out with my friends and building and hanging out with friends like with Solaris has been fantastic. But yeah, so yada yada yada. You invite me on to your show.
That's the arc.
It's a long story.
Cue the Seinfeld music also.
Can we just underscore the fact that he just said that he didn't have any experience of coding, and yet is arguably one of the best coders in the metaverse? That is amazing.
Yeah, like the way, like, when I first came in here, of course, like I'm sure most people are who don't have any kind of coding background, I was very intimidated. Yeah. And I've tried to delve into stuff like this in the past, but the learning curve seemed way too steep, especially for a beginner. You don't start off going straight up the mountain. You have to ease into it. You have to become comfortable. You have to give yourself permission, to take a chance. And it can be overwhelming, right? But my voice is going. But like with the way Horizon was, like
Jason's got you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
But with the way Horizon was, like it didn't seem like a huge mountain. It seemed more like a molehill. So like I started climbing up it, not knowing that it was in fact a huge mountain. And so like my ignorance of it allowed me to like start down that path, right? Like, and I kind of eased into it. My first script was like 2 lines, and there's something really powerful about like, when you code something and then you test it and then it works, right? Like the first time I made like, a projectile gun, like this is before they had the projectile like gizmo. Yeah. So it was a lot more convoluted. In fact, that was
okay. I think this is a pause that needs to happen here.
All right, yeah.
I tell you what, let's let him finish, and then we'll come back. Like as soon as he finishes his statement because I don't want people to miss because this is too good.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Was the first tutorial that I had seen on video, my friend Alex, and it took so long to do what is now the most simple thing in the world. But when I did it, when I first accomplished that and got it to work for the first time, and went back into preview mode, picked up my weapon and fired it, and something actually happened. It was like a profound moment. Like I created something that worked, like, and I was like running around I was at my TARDIS at the time. I was running around shooting things, and I was like, I can do this. And is that like pivoted me into like, a new kind of mode that just never ended, like this idea that you can do it. And I just kept going with it.
Gotcha. Well, dude, I can say that I appreciate you so much. I appreciate
you.
your talent. I appreciate your spirit and who you are as a person. I mean, that was the initial thing that attracted me to you as a friend, was seeing you jump in with a couple people you didn't even know, one of which was me, and help, just give back, and that is just so cool. You're awesome. The role that you've played in here, of course, and the role you played in the Soapstone is wonderful, and I know Jason can echo that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, man, I think of a verse that says, man, the slack hand will be made poor, but the hand of the diligent will be made wealthy. And it's not necessarily talking about strictly finances, but even the wealth of a reputation, the wealth of, friends and value. And as you've been diligent in this piece, man, I'm blown away just by the insight, by the love and the respect that a lot of people have for you, man. So it reminds me of the song that my kids taught me. Haba na haba, kuyaza kuibaba. And it's little by little, bit by bit, minute by minute, inch by inch. All things are possible if you just say haba na haba, kuyaza kuibaba. And so as you were explaining your process, like that's how it came about, being diligent, little by little.
I really like that saying. I do feel like, there is a little bit of luck involved, of course. What if I had never come into Horizon early on? What if I'd never met the people that I had met? What if I'd never taken those opportunities that were presented to me or recognized them as opportunities? One of the things that I think, like, a lot of things in life are about luck, but there's also like you increase your odds, right? Like so, like, you don't really lose anything by playing, right? So why not keep playing? Oh, you lost that game, play again. Keep playing, maybe we'll win the next one. Oh, you lost that one too, so we'll play again. It doesn't take you to keep playing, right? So you're not risking anything, but you have everything to gain. So like, I think like people who are persistent with their passion, right? If you see a place you want to get to, keep walking in that direction, and there's no guarantee, but you increase the likelihood the more you go after what you want. Like, so the likelihood is 0 if you don't, and it's not 100% the more you go, but it gets closer and closer to that the more you do it.
So good.
Well, man, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being a friend, and thank you for being you. Solaris, we got to talk about you, my friend.
All right. So
man, there's a lot to unpack. Man, oh man. Dude, John, he's so incredible. Like I could just sit there and listen to him talk. He's an interesting dude, a talented dude, and it's awesome.
Yeah, just to underscore, I mean, his ability is an example of what it means to be diligent. 0 coding experience and develop not only, I mean, just go to the metaverse and just look at some of the worlds that he's created. And it's, man, you're seeing what happens when someone shows determination and consistency and practice.
Well, and notice what he said there about when he came into Horizon Worlds. He came in and he was underwhelmed. You know, he was not impressed. He came
Yeah.
in and he's like, eh. And here's a story that I wondered if he was going to tell, but he missed it, so I'll tell it now. When he came into Horizon, he went into what he called hermit mode,
Yeah.
and he was totally alone building for quite a while, like several months.
Wow.
He went without seeing anybody, and he said one day he was in one of the worlds that he just published, and he was testing it, and then all of a sudden that sound came in, whoosh,
Yeah.
and somebody appeared in the world, and
You
he
are
was
not.
freaked out. John ran and hid behind a tree, and like, because he didn't know how to respond to another person in Horizon Worlds.
Yeah.
It's wild, but that's what he went through. You know, this solitary confinement of growth and learning to the point
Yeah.
of like being skittish around people. And,
That's hysterical.
yeah. And then to turn into what he's at now, like, which is very, very well respected and very talented
Indeed.
builder, designer, artist, and part of Inspire Create Labs. Because man, they're knocking it out of the park, man. They're a company to watch. I don't know if they offer people to invest in them yet, but I'd buy
Right.
stock.
Absolutely. As soon as they go public.
Yeah.
Ace, so would it be appropriate if you can run down a little bit of their portfolio? I don't know if that's appropriate or not.
Yeah. I mean, one of the well, we'll have more of them. Like I saw Matt or Matthias chime in here. We'll have him and probably Yoda on an upcoming episode, and
Okay.
they can run through some more detail. But I
Yeah,
know
that'd be
it's
great.
public knowledge that they did Wendy's. They built the
Yeah.
Wendyverse, which also just went through a major upgrade. Like they built a whole nother universe, like right along with it. So, like they're the kind of company that like they're not just going to build something, they're going to build it and then maintain that relationship so it stays fresh and stays current. So
Yeah.
no pun intended with fresh. I think Wendy's has some kind of phrase of fresh is best, or
Yeah.
don't mess with fresh or Wendy will get you. I don't know.
That's funny. Yeah, I just need stop in and get me some junior bacons. No tomatoes. That's
I think I know what I'm doing for lunch.
it's
They
so
got good
funny.
nuggets too.
So now, y'all, now this next guest that we're about to throw it back to, Solaris, man, just quickly became one of my favorite people. Just and not just because of like she has this huge ability to build, but it's just man, shoots it straight, like in the kindest way. It reminds me of a verse from Proverbs: "Open rebuke is better than love carefully concealed. Faithful are the wounds of a friend." So, what's up, Jim Glass? How you doing, bro?
Hey.
Jimmy? Cool.
So before we jump in there, though, too, I got to tell you a funny story because that there's this verse. I've heard you say there's this verse, and you pulling things back to biblical wisdom like many, probably 100 times or more during this podcast, and I love it. Well, I know you found a verse from John that you posted in the timeout box to help people kind of chill out. I don't remember the exact verse, but I do remember that when I went into the timeout box to kind of walk through the world as it was under construction, one of the builders replaced John with Jason accidentally. He thought it was a typo. And I was like, no, he's not going to want to take credit for that.
Yeah, no, he's not that good. He's not that good.
Right. Yeah. So there's this verse. Yeah.
Explain the timeout box to people, though.
Okay, so that's a good thing because probably not many people will see it. But the timeout box, these are open to the public. These recordings that we do, so we can have any number of people coming through, and there are times when people come through that are disruptive. They're not there to watch the show. They're there to get attention or do whatever, you know. So we've got some tools that we can put people in a timeout box. Now, some timeout boxes in the metaverse are kind of hostile and are there to punish people.
Yeah.
You did yours with some verses and inspirational statements on the walls and some light music playing. You know, it's just kind of a subtle. Now, why don't you think about what you've done?
Think about this, please. Do some self-reflection. Yo, shout out to J Rice 777.
Hey.
Our sister, what's up? Always good seeing her up in the house. And she's encouraging too. Very encouraging, sister. All right, let's go on back and the queen.
So how do you do
what
it?
I loved about what I
Go ahead,
love,
Jay.
man. The queen, you come in here and she'll just be building something, and she said, and she's like, whatever, yeah, keep talking. And then you turn around and she's got a mansion built. Like, whoa, I was just thinking about a big house with a bunch of rooms.
Yeah.
That's just how I am. I get in your head like a worm, and then I make your idea come to life. And then you just look away for like a second, and it's bam, it's done. That's how I am.
It's an idea.
That's how I roll.
Big J.
I'm driven.
Yeah. So what brought you into Horizon initially, Solaris?
Well, it's a really funny story. I actually made a friend outside of Horizon that actually had an Oculus, but it was Beat Saber that got me in to having an Oculus. Yeah. And of course COVID. And I was gonna have a surgery, and I right before my surgery I met her and played, the Oculus, played on the Oculus. I was like, this is awesome. Thought that was so great. I was like, this Beat Saber is so cool. And she's like, yeah, there's also like this VR chat and, things that you can go rec rooms and stuff. I didn't hear about Horizon yet. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to be laid up for a while, for a couple months, because my surgery, it'd be nice to talk to people and not have to worry about COVID and stuff. And I was like, okay, and so I got my Oculus, literally the next day I went to my husband and convinced him, because he's the greatest man in the world, and convinced him to get me one. Wasn't very hard, because obviously I'm the queen. So and he got me one. And so then, I'm just messing around in the Oculus, going to different group things and everything, and someone from Venues was like, hey, they opened up, or they have this thing called Horizon. I just got in there, but it's beta. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. I want to try this. And I literally put in for 10 times. I just kept on sending the email, filling out the information and send it in. Wait a couple days. I didn't hear anything. Fill it out again, send it in. Finally, I got in and I was happy. And I was like, this is awesome. This is so cool. And I did the tutorial for the building, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of lame." The tutorial was ugh. And then I met Tanzer, and he showed me around, and then I met John, and then I was like, I really wanted to build, and I was like, this is super cool. And Tanzer, he showed me how to build. And I was like, this is cool. And it just took off. I was just I built 3 worlds in a week. And everybody was shocked. There was this newcomer in here and just pumping out these worlds. And they were, not gonna, they said they were amazing. And I was just like, they're not that great. And
they were amazing. When she came in, people instantly blew away.
Wow.
And I remember, Video had his talk show back then, and was always inviting on the latest, and greatest, onto a show for his guests.
Yeah.
And she got a spot.
Yeah,
I think it was 2 weeks in to being Horizon. She's been being interviewed by Laix on his show.
Yeah. And then I
Wow.
did Women in Horizon.
That's amazing.
And I did a couple other ones, and it just kind of like took off from there. And I, you know, of course, did the soapstone. So
Oh yeah.
worked
wait,
with
what is that?
John
What's
on a
that
bunch
world?
of things.
And can we tell the story? Can we tell the story about the soapstone? Because this is before I met Solaris. This conversation, I was like, I need to meet this woman because there's this verse that I cherish. It says, "Open rebuke is better than love carefully concealed. Faithful are the wounds of a friend."
Yeah.
So this is the story. Please share this.
Oh, absolutely. Or do you want to share it?
Yes.
All I know is I was like, he was on the train, John's train. He was on John's train, actually. And he was with my friend Burn Buns. And I was like, oh, Burn Buns is online. I'm going to go see what he's doing. So I went to the train, and Burn Buns is talking to Unemployed. And this is when I was kind of making a little bit of money here in Horizon with jobs. And I was like, I kind of want to keep this going because I want to make money in here. This is what I want to do. And so he was talking about his comedy world, and I was like, okay, and he's like, oh, and talking to Burn Buns about it. And I was like, oh, I'd love to see this world. And he took me in there, and I was brutally honest. He's like, what do you think?
Wait.
I was like,
so she says I was brutally honest. This is what she did. She came in and she started kind of looking around, and she was quiet, and she did this. And she says, "It looks like a kindergartner made it."
I really did that. So if anybody, when I really say I like your world, it's the truth.
Yeah, that's right. But and again, I'm so glad you did, because to that point, everybody who had come through had said, "Wow, this is spectacular. I love it. Everybody's going to love this. It's going to become the most popular place in the metaverse." And I was like, "Oh, yes." And then you came in and you were like, "Not quite." And I thought, "Oh, thank
Your
God
world
for
sucks,
honest
buddy."
friends." Yeah. Because it's like, and then we got to work, and we changed some things. And I mean, since then, of course, the soapstone has become a very, very popular.
It's one of the most popular platforms in the metaverse right now. That's why it's, the community there is amazing. It's exactly what Meta stands for. So, I mean,
yeah,
why wouldn't Meta love it?
Good stuff. But and I just appreciate you so much. The role that you've played, the friendship that we've developed, and that it's exceptional. And
I probably wouldn't be where I'm at without you either, or John. So, and now Jason's part of it. So,
yeah. And again, that's like, there's a dynamic that's been at work here of putting the other people's interest first, and allowing other people to thrive, and trying to do everything we can to help each other out. And yeah, that's the result. We all end up springboarding higher than we could have possibly gotten by focusing on our own best interests, by just having a genuinely collaborative and mutually beneficial relationship.
And it's not just the people that are on the stage that has helped all of us through like us becoming Nspire and everything. It's the community. I mean, you guys are all great builders, and so it helps us become great too. So
listen,
everybody, you guys are amazing.
Yeah, yesterday after we published, some of my friends, Arkin from the UK, Arkin_1 came in from the UK, and we just hung out probably for about 45 minutes to an hour, just sitting on the sofa, just chatting. But it's conversations like that even make the world better. From that, I was like, shoot, man, I might as well sleep with my Oculus tonight.
Nice. Yeah. Oh man, John Solaris, you guys are so great. And I know we had the opportunity and you guys had the opportunity to collaborate with two more folks on this project that are also just dear friends and very cool. Would you mind if we pull up a couple more friends and then afterwards we'll bring everybody back up on the stage and do some question and answers with the audience. So if you're still here in the audience, hang around and we'll get some Q&A. And we'll see you
Thank
guys
y'all.
back up here in a minute. And
Why you leave so
yeah.
fast?
Yep. And thanks. We'll see you back up here in a minute, my friend. That was weak. Try it one more time. Well, all right.
That is so cool.
Wow, man. Wow. How fun was that to watch that conversation back, man?
And just FYI, JohnMcclay is in the building, y'all. He's in the comment section.
Oh yeah, JohnMcclay.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Wow.
So John, I'm sorry, but I don't regret calling you out because on the way off the stage, that high five was weak.
That was... Y'all look like two of my brothers who lack a lot of hue in their department.
Hey man, I've seen you struggle with some fist pounds in there, dude. Like
only in the metaverse can two black dudes struggle to high five each other.
Yeah.
That is too funny, man.
Not all stereotypes are true, I guess.
Absolutely. The metaverse breaks all stereotypes.
Yeah. Man, how about Solaris?
Oh my goodness. The queen.
Dude, there were a couple of things that really jumped out to me about what she said. And the first thing was what brought her into the metaverse. Like, she was laid up.
Yeah.
She was, not able to do other things. And so she just got involved. And that's the thing that really jumps out to me about the metaverse is it's all about accessibility. It takes experiences, it takes community, it takes all these things that we don't get to access, and it makes them accessible. Man.
I would say even for those who in the real world who lack accessibility because of handicaps, they get into the metaverse and there's actually no distinction. It's like you don't know who's in a wheelchair and who's not, who's confined to a wheelchair. And it gives people who are actually laid up, whether through surgery, whether through paralysis or whatever, gives them an opportunity just to be seen as and have a normal conversation without people looking at the abnormalities that they may have in real life. That's golden.
Absolutely. But that's only half of it. Accessing it is only half of it. The accessibility is only half of it. The other half is something that you say over and over. In fact, there's this verse, but it's diligence,
Yes.
And what did she say? She said something struck her about Horizon Worlds, and she's like, I got to get in there. And she put in 10 times to be accepted into the beta. And man, that's
huge.
That's diligent. What's that verse?
What is if you? I was about to give another one, dude. Keep on asking. Yeah. The slack hand. One of them says the hand of the slack would desire and have nothing, but he who is diligent will be made fat. Will be made rich.
I like it.
So good.
Yeah.
Big J says something. I had a friend that was in the hospital, but in the soapstone, you could hear her heart monitor.
Wow.
That's so cool. So everybody, she's in the hospital, but she's also in a comedy club. Talking about laughter doeth good like medicine. She got the IV in one hand and the Oculus in the comedy club.
Man,
that's so cool.
That's awesome. That's it. I mean, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff, man. So look, we still got two more guests.
Yeah. Although we're running out of time, bro.
Yeah.
We got Yeah, we don't have time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do this again. When are we gonna do this again, bro?
Well, let's do this. Let's open it up for any questions before we get out of here, and then let's come back next Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel, and then pick up with our other two guests. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
It's MayheM and Ace the
Yeah.
Bass.
Let's go. That's gonna be exciting. So we'll do this
Aw.
next Tuesday, same bat time.
Yeah, yep. Same bat time, same bat channels. It's not just channel anymore, right?
Yeah.
What are we on? 7 platforms through this?
2, 4, 6. Yep.
Live streaming to 7. All right.
Yep.
Good
Live
stuff.
streaming to 7.
So yeah, anybody who's in the comment section, if you got anything last minute to add in, we can hit it real quick, and then we're going to go away until Tuesday on these channels, and on Friday at 11 a.m. we're going to be in the Metaverse at Jason Earls Productions.
Hey, and if you stop by Jason Earls Productions, make sure you like it.
Yeah, like it, bookmark it.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're looking for it, stop in the soapstone. There's a door. Matthew, man, dude,
I'll be back, bro.
you're my boy, Blue. When's our next? Okay, that's a good question. Our next producer call. So what we do in the soapstone is the people that are producers in there, every other Sunday, we get together and do a video conference call just to see each other in a little bit different light instead of avatar form. But the next producer call is going to be a week from this coming Sunday, I think. Yeah, I think it's a week from this coming Sunday. We'll post it in the chat. And in the meantime, anybody in that chat, if there's something that we got to connect on, start a call. Like we don't have to wait until a certain time to communicate. If people are available and want to jump on, they can. If people don't, that's fine too. So,
and I just want to add, hey, if you're a producer in Soapstone and you want to use your skills some other time,
yeah, that's right.
We have a non-competing agreement, just as bros, but we are the same.
We got a Metaverse non-compete,
right?
Yeah,
no, if you work for Sam's Club, you still can work for Walmart as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Brandon,
Brandon. By the way, Brandon, he's stepping in this Friday, and he's going to be hosting the musician showcase in the Soapstone.
Very cool.
Very cool,
good
dude.
Stuff, Brandon.
All right. Oh yeah, Sunday. Good. We'll see you then. Yeah. Well, actually, I'll see you before that. Let's wrap it. How do we wrap it?
Yo, you got some tape and some gift wrap?
Some wrapping paper?
No, I would like to say, let's just give our final. That's hysterical. Let's do like man, shout out to my man Akintunde, who was here. We have a show in Clubhouse. So man, you might want to check that out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, every Tuesday and Thursday morning. But we always go and kind of give our closing thoughts. So my first closing thought is, as I thought to you, is man, I just think of two things. One, if you're thinking about jumping into the metaverse, but you want to, but you kind of like, you're a little skeptical, you don't like, hey, I want to start building. Man, as John McClay showed us, just get in and start being diligent at it. Just go ahead and keep working at it. And you never know what that diligence is going to bring you. And then secondly, I would say kind of what we started off, and we'll touch it again in the next interview. It's just, man, embrace the grace. Man, a lot of times we do feel unworthy. And if you look at the core of who we are, sometimes, all of us mess up. But that's the reason why we serve this amazing God who shows us grace every single day. And so when great things come to you, don't look at it as you're not worthy. Just embrace the grace. What is grace? Grace is when you get something that you don't deserve, like a diamond for cheating and not kicked to the curb. Oh, bars. Bars.
How am I supposed to add anything to that? Dude, well said, Jason. I appreciate you so
Yeah.
much. I appreciate the team of people that helped build the thing. Sensei Jay.
Sensei Jay.
Oh man, helping out
Subscribe to
with
his
the videography.
YouTube page. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
Film Sensei on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Sensei Jay. We got to get out my man Oculus for his moderating support. Lolly D.
Yeah.
Just so many great people, man, in the metaverse that have helped us. But real big shout out to Sensei Jay for his editing. I'm sorry, I took your spot. I'm sorry.
No, man.
Sensei Jay, just
it
a
takes
really
a village,
smart
don't it?
genius,
It takes a
dude.
village.
Yeah, indeed.
Yep. Good stuff. All right. We will see you on Friday in the Metaverse, and then here again on all these platforms on Tuesday of next week, 1 p.m. Eastern. See you then.
Peace.